Dumalang Sambanani, hello South Africa. A very warm welcome to Expressions. This is definitely the place for you to air your views. I'm your host, Jacqueline Mapala.
And I'm your host, Umolisi Wagamasango. Welcome to this August edition of Expressions as we continue with women empowerment conversations on the show. It's great to have you, Muntamusha, and we invite you to participate in Kundlan Zethu Zokuxhumana as we continue to have these meaningful conversations as we ask Namhlanje, are we doing enough to empower and celebrate women this August? Let's take you to the very first story we have for you.
We're now speaking to the Deputy Minister in the Office of the Presidency, Uthembi Siweya, and we're going to be obviously speaking to her around the importance of supporting women in very traditionally male-dominated spaces. Deputy Minister, the big reveal, a very warm welcome to Expressions.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Very excited to be here. Hello, South Africans, young people, hello.
Tell us a little bit about why it's important for you specifically to be here. We're at an artisan school.
We're really excited as the presidency because we're breaking the barriers and the notions which say women cannot do masculine creative work. The message that we're trying to send as government is that women are as much as able as the male counterpart, and that when you look at women, you must not look at them as a lesser gender, which will not necessarily be able to do other aspects in society, and especially in this industry of artisan. It's not a sin for you not to go to a university of technology, not to go to a mainstream university. You can go to a college like this, you can go to a TVET, and artisans are needed. They're also going to respond to our targets of job creation and addressing unemployment, inequality, and poverty as a whole.
And as we commemorate and celebrate Women's Month, what would you like to say to all the young women out there?
Be the change that you want to be in your life. You must break the barriers. I break the barriers every day. I'm a young woman, I work in a male-dominated space. Luckily, my boss is not like that, but I'm just saying, so let's strive, let's push and make it possible.
And as we celebrate and commemorate Women's Month, in your own different vocation, you're in agriculture, you're on TV, and what would you like to say to women out there just to inspire them, to remind them that they're strong, they're capable, and they are overcomers?
As women, I think we should stand up for each other, stand up for ourselves. If there's something that you want to do, know that you can conquer it. Anything that you put your mind to, umuntu wesifazane uyakwazi ukukwenza. Abashongo swathinta umfazi wathinta imbokodo for nothing. They know why they said that, because we know we have to dig deep inside, because there's so many pressures that are oppressing us. So asambeni bafazi, asukumeni, siyibambe iqiniso.
One of the things that we as women have is sensitivity, and for a long time it has been said that that's our weakness, but in fact that's our strength, because when you are sensitive you are able to see the things that are happening in your community. You are able to make a difference, like with yourself, your entirety within that space. And so I just like to encourage women to do whatever it is that they want to do, because when they do it, they will make an even bigger change, an even greater change, because they are sensitive, and so they are able to see things that men cannot see.
Now we're on location in Wynberg, and we're going to be speaking to another spectacular young lady who owns a carpentry manufacturing business. Her name is Dipuo. Let's go inside and meet her. Dipuo, a very warm welcome to Expressions. Thank you so very much for having this chat with us. Tell us a little bit more about your business. How long have you been running it for?
Okay, so the business was founded and registered in 2017. It started as a side hustle with 2 part-time employees. I was still employed in corporate, and this was more like a weekend job, which I thoroughly enjoyed because I've always been into interior design and beautiful spaces. So I started with 2 part-time employees, and then fast forward to 2019, where I actually ventured into manufacturing bought machinery and went from 2 part-time employees to 11 permanent employees. So here at Denique Cabinets, we design, manufacture and install custom-made units. So basically we do things like built-in kitchens, walk-in closets, bathroom vanities, BICs. Our market is mostly the residential and the corporate market, so we also do a little bit of office furniture. And then the nice thing is that we also have built relationships with interior designers and builders, so that as and when they get customers, they can also rope in their customers so that we can give them a personalized solution.
You're not just a small operation. Give us a nice list of your clientele. I mean, who are you currently providing services to?
Yes, we have quite an amazing clientele. I think for me, the person that unlocked a lot of business for me was DJ Zinte, where we worked at her house and her apartments, and she's been able to refer me to a whole lot of clientele that I wouldn't have been able to previously cater for. There you go. So let's put this on you. There you go. Yes.
What is it that actually motivated you to leave your corporate job and actually start doing this?
So, you know what, it has been a long time coming. I've always been passionate about interior design. It's actually a passion that my mother and I share. So it's always been in me. I'm a qualified engineer by profession. I used to work in the mining industry for a while. Then I joined corporate. And then in corporate, I actually worked in a department that supported small businesses. I think that inspired me. I met women-owned entrepreneurs and we trained them, we developed them. And I thought, they have something that I have, what is different about them that I couldn't do. So I think that actually encouraged me to start my side hustle and actually explore my passion.
I mean, you're a woman in a space that ordinarily would be quite dominated by men. Yes. What are the challenges that you're experiencing as a woman in this space?
Some of the challenges are basically building relationships with your builders, your developers, everybody in the construction value chain. You can imagine most of the people in the construction value chain, which is your architects and developers, those are white males. So it's building that relationship, introducing yourself, and also you realize that people have their own people. So you go knocking on doors and people are like, I already have someone doing that for me. And those relationships have been built for years. So the trick with me is that I want to meet other up-and-coming like me so that we can form these relationships as a base and also grow together. Even in terms of training for employees, I research companies that have the same values that I do, that want to help small businesses as much as I need help. And I align myself with them and I go knocking on those doors and I say, okay, my team needs training on this. I know you are subject matter experts on this. And basically that's how I get it done. So it's not a matter of, waiting to be presented with something. I literally do the research and go knocking on those doors.
What words of inspiration and encouragement can you share with them?
So many of us want to wait for the perfect moment to start something, to start a business, to, want to do something about your passion or your side hustle. And start where you are. I started with my own house. I did my own house, started marketing my own house. Then I engaged with friends and family to say, I can improve that. And by that time, it wasn't even about being profitable, but it was about getting my business out there, taking the before and after pictures, and basically thinking about that marketing. So it would be start where you are, and then the next thing would be collaborate where you need to. Not everything has to be you. And as people, we all have strengths and weaknesses. So where you identify a weakness, go out there and find people that have the same vision and values as you and collaborate and, grow bigger.
And as we commemorate and celebrate Women's Month, and it's a time where we celebrate the indomitable spirit of women. Women are overcomers. What is your message to women out there as they celebrate Women's Month?
Be kind to yourself. Believe in yourself, and nobody's coming to save us, they say. So it's basically trust your gut, follow your passions, and conquer your fears. Go out there, try something new, and just let's be kind to ourselves. Let's love ourselves first before we go on and love other people. And let's just be compassionate leaders, as the women that we are. Let's lead.
I am completely inspired by the Deputy Minister as well as Dipuo. It's clear that women are redefining and reshaping the spaces that they're in. We continue with this also important conversation after the break. You're watching Expressions.
Welcome back. You're still watching Expressions. The big question on the show today, we are asking, are we doing enough to celebrate and empower women this August month? What do you have to say? Do participate in Gondenzeto Zokumana. Now, Desiree Alice is the head coach of the Banyana team. She speaks to us about the importance of women working together, as well as ensuring that her team is always in top form when they go out to the world stages to perform. I'm so excited about the conversations that we're having back to back on that. There's also a fitness instructor who speaks to us about her day-to-day. Take a look. Okay, now, so we continue to have conversations with women of stature, very influential women who are making strides in their respective fields. One of them needs no introduction. It's Desiree Alice, who's now the head coach of Banyana. It's great to have you on the show. I'm literally trying to pinch myself that I'm sitting next to you today. Welcome to Expressions, Des.
I'm Kolisi. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I remember I used to watch you while I was growing up. You were still on the field, you know? And when you look at that time, Des, and this time, what do you think? Do you think we are giving our women on the field enough support when we compare those two times? Are we really taking notice to say, look, they are here?
Look, it has improved a lot, I must admit, but there needs to be more. We have a U17 team, we have a U20 team, we have a regional league. You know, if that happens, I think women's football will be elevated to a different level. You know, we're not where we want to be because we know we want a professional league, but the Hollywood Bet Super League is the start. You know, if you look at last season and you look at this season, it has improved. But the ultimate is obviously a professional league, but it's not where we want to be, but it's a step in the right direction.
Robin Mudley. And here's Rhoda Mlauzi. Rhoda Mlauzi gets onto the score sheet. She is a menace, is Rhoda Mlauzi. South Africa won.
I want to know from you, what are some of the challenges that you face as a woman coach?
Look, there's always challenges, but you have to find a solution around it. For example, we don't have a professional league, so what we try and do is send out a training program to make sure that if we select a new player that's never been to camp before, you've got to give that player, you know, a chance to make sure that that player comes in having a fighting chance. So that player gets a program. So if the player comes in, the player is not here where the rest is there. So we have to find little solutions for those things. I mean, at the beginning of the year, we couldn't get a game, you know, so we had a training camp, for example. You know, there will always be challenges, but we have to find little solutions for those ones and make it less challenging, but more positive on the other hand.
So now, before we wrap this up, there's some young girls that look up to you watching Expressions right now and thinking, what do I do if I want to be like Desiree? What would you say to them?
Look, I think, you know, each and everyone, you know, has a dream, and your dreams are valid. You know, you shouldn't let anyone tell you your dreams are not valid. Some players that didn't go through junior structures but have over 100 caps for the national team. But you've got to make sure, you know, that you do your best always. Your best, not competing against anyone else. Your best, because if you get better every day, obviously you're going to get better because you don't know who's watching. You know, someone could be sitting in the stand while you're playing and you're not giving your best and someone else gets selected, you know. But it's very important that just give your best and follow your passion.
So, Desiree, do you think that women are celebrated and empowered enough, especially in male-dominated spaces such as your area of expertise?
We as women ourselves do not celebrate another woman's achievements. And I think that is so important. We should be celebrating each other's achievements more, but more importantly, we should be supporting each other's sports. If there's a netball game, I should be going to watch a netball game or a cricket game. We talk about lack of support, but if we don't go support, but we expect everyone else to support. But you can only be the best that you want to be in your craft, and I think that is the way that you are celebrated. But more still needs to be done. I think more can always be done. I think there's always room for improvement in that. but we as women should celebrate each other more.
Welcome to the show, Siswami. Today on the show we're talking about women's issues and as well as fitness and women empowerment. Also at the back of that, we're talking about making sure that you take care of yourself. I mean, you are in a space. You're in a space where you advocate for making sure that people look after their bodies, take care of their bodies. If there's some young woman, Nobugeli expressions right now, thinking, I want to get into that field, what would you say to her right now?
Please go and study. Go and study and get your qualification so that you know, this thing of seeing everyone in the fitness industry, some, in fact, not even some, a lot of them are not qualified. And so they're portraying this thing that they are able to train people and they can't. Now, what happens if you come to me and I wasn't qualified and you get injured, you know, then you're able to sue me because I gave you this notion that I'm qualified. So if you want to get into the industry, go out there and study. And once you have studied and obtained your qualification, continue studying, because you need to understand that we have different bodies. What works for Usane might not work for you. So there's literally times keep evolving and you need to stay on your game. Even when people just ask basic things like, what can I eat? I want to lose weight, or I want to maintain, or whatever the case may be. But if you don't have a background, you're not going to know. The people that have actually studied are the ones that actually last in this industry. Yeah,
because they have the technical know-how of it. So Sane, you know, we're living in an age where social media runs izinto most of the times. And we also have Avanti that would say, Ish, ama influencers, what's their place in society? What is it that they do? Are they celebrities? Are they what? What would you say to those people, first of all? And how would you encourage young people who are planning on getting into the influencer space to say this is a feasible business that they can get into and make a living out of it?
First, discover what it is that you like. Go study for it. Then after that, if whatever it is that you studied is not working out, then maybe you can go. Because guys, there's a lot of influencers currently, and I'm not saying I'm discouraging people, but you need to understand that you will need to get yourself out there. And while you're still getting yourself out there, where are you getting the income? You know, because at the end of the day, you need food in your tummy and you need to take care of your family or whatever the case may be. Okay, if this thing doesn't work out, then I'm able to do.
I want to know from you, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face in your industry?
Yes, back then it was male dominated, but now I just feel like several 50-50. But personally, ngathi amantombazane adominate manje. Yeah, sakhona amadoda there and there, but females, we are definitely dominating the fitness industry, especially in South Africa.
Clearly, women continue to push the envelope and remind us that nothing is impossible. We continue this also important conversation and asking you, Kochaya, whether we're doing enough to celebrate and empower women this Women's Month. You're watching Expressions. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Expressions. We continue to have very important conversations this August as we celebrate women. Now, namhlanje ke siyabuza ke, are we doing enough to empower and celebrate women? Now, Usihle is a woman who was inspired by the Events and Deco Center and speaks about the importance of inspiring other women and imparting knowledge to ensure that they're able to be absorbed by the business space. She speaks with such passion when she talks about some of the women that she has the opportunity to interact with on the day-to-day. What do you have to say about the conversations we're having on the show? Let's take you there. Sihle, welcome to Expressions. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I see a hive of activity behind us. We've been seeing people up and down. They're busy working, busy getting trained. Talk to us about why the need to bring up such a place that teaches people deco.
So I started my company 2 years ago, and the one thing which I struggled for when I started, a lot of people were not willing to share information. So I told myself that I'll be the last person to experience that, and hence why the Buhloga Beautiful Masterclass. So what it is, I've gotten 30 delegates coming through, and I'm teaching them what I've learned. I've brought in suppliers, I've brought in speakers from the different fields to share about what they've learned in the group so that it can help empower women.
Now, let's speak about the importance of imparting knowledge, ikakhulukazi to ensure nokuqinisekisa ukuthi abantu besifazane have all the knowledge and skills.
So I feel strongly about that because I feel it's not everyone's responsibility to teach us. It's also up to us as women to take up and build your space, secure your space. They need to learn to do things for themselves. We need to learn how to not be relaxed and expecting other people. I always say I'm building an empire for my kids, and I feel like a lot of women also want to do that. A lot of the women that I've seen today, we're building each other. We're sharing skills that others have learned and others don't have. And I find that yes, in society it looks like a sizane, mara siya sizana. It's a matter of approach. I feel like as kulumeni, as women, how can I help you with your business? How can you help me with my business? And it doesn't even have to be business, but other life skills as well.
Sisingene phezu kwe-Women's Month nje, siyabuza-ke maybe, do you think women are empowered enough in the country?
Honestly speaking, I say yes. And it looks like we're not, but we are. And yes, it's not empowered everywhere. But there's quite a lot of women that hold designation amakulu and hold different industries, and they occupy a lot of industries. So yes, I would say they are.
So what do you think, what conversations should we be having as umphakathi to ensure ukuthi abantu besifazane emiphakathini yethu are empowered?
How can I help you? So let us start offering help to people when we can afford to help. Mina, I take time. When people ask me, oh, I want to start an event company, how did you go about it? I don't say, oh, I'll see you. Yes, I'm busy. I'm dealing with clients. I've got an 8 to 5, but I make the time to help someone. Even if I say, come to me, let me shadow me. I don't have the time to chat to you now, but let's shadow each other, and then uzofunda lapho. It's help each other and ask for help. So don't go at it in your own way. Asazi everything. Nami, I'm here, I've got suppliers in because I don't specialize in everything.
So what would you like to say to abantu besifazane who are watching Expressions right now, wanting to get into umkhakha lo we-deco?
Find someone to help you. Reach out to the people in the industry. Like Bapalele Bonke, if you have to, keep on knocking at doors, someone's going to open. When I started, I actually went on Facebook and I said I'm offering deco for free. And people's like, why? I'm like, the clients will hire the things out, I'll do the deco, and the pictures I get to keep. So find ways to build your own portfolio. Pay for a photographer or use your phone and use that to get the pictures that you need to say, these are mine, this is my work, this is what I'm selling you.
Start somewhere.
Yes, definitely.
But definitely get started.
Get started. Get off and get started.
So, Mko, we've come to the end of today's episode, and of course it marks 65 years since that watershed moment in 1956 when 20,000 women actually marched to the Union buildings. And as Expressions, we want to take the opportunity to pay tribute to the women who laid the foundation for the development and progress of women in this country. And to the women who are part of the show, we say, halala imbogoto, halala, you make us so proud.
Yeah, that's because I think Naming outnumbered in the team. There's only 2 males in our Expressions team, but nonetheless, we still love you guys. And thank you so much, Nandla Pikaya, for all your contribution. And until next time, from all of us at Expressions, and
Adios, muchachos. Bye.